Here's left. Pulls up, looking for the lead, and got it. Jalen Williams, 2 seconds, 1:11.109. Now SGA, probing, piercing, spinning, hanging for the lead, and SGA knocks it down. The Thunder finally get the defensive stop, and SGA puts them in front.
I'm Kenrich Williams. You're listening to Topic Thunder.
And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Top of Thunder podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Hunsinger at Thunder Chats. We are part of the B-League Network. This podcast is brought to you by BetOnline.ag. Ladies and gentlemen, word on the street is the Thunder are streaking. The Thunder have set a franchise record. They did it last night with their 13th straight victory because the Bucks game never happened. But tonight we extended that to 14 games. And here to talk to us about it, like I said, we got 14 straight wins, so we had to bring on a quad pod. So first of all, joining us, we got rocking the goatee, by the way, Matthias Matty Moles.
Man, I'm good. I'm still on paternity leave, 4-month-old, fighting a cold and stuff. So we've gone to the ER a little bit to have him looked at, but no overnight stays so far. So that's a win on top of everything else. So it's just winning all around and not having to shave, man. I like the look. My wife's not such a fan, but a couple more weeks of her dealing with that, and then I guess I'll get correct.
Man's looking like Hawkeye over here, so I like it. Also joining us is with. I still can't get over it. A wooden spoon holding up his microphone. The tyrannical one has returned. Matt Tierney, what up, Tierney?
Good. It's a wooden spoon. I'm holding the microphone now. This is what I'm gonna do. I don't know why I did. I need something long that I didn't have to hold right up to my face.
What?
Pause.
Huh? What? What?
All right. And also joining us,
Evidence of wood.
Evidence of wood. And how come wood?
Proof of wood.
Here. Hello.
Wood. There you go. Whenever we need proof of wood, there it is. Also joining us from his exercise room is Stephen Dolan. Dolan, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. That game was quite enjoyable. I am hype, to say the least. Hype. And good to see you guys. Very happy to see you, but mostly the game.
Yes, the game was awesome. I'm shocked.
Great idea.
Yeah, Bowler Jack said the spoon needs googly eyes. That's crazy. Yeah, shout out T in the chat. I say, what's up, Brodies? Yeah, vibes are very high.
Eyes right here.
Oh, wow. Well, yeah, you need to send those for.
Oh, yeah, give me those, dude. What are you doing with those? Those are mine. Hello?
Here.
Dude, that would be insane. That'd be insane.
That'd be wild if Tierney had some with him, and he was just like, oh, yeah, here.
What we just did was video magic. I don't know how many people can pull that off, but Steve and I just did. So
that's cool.
Absolutely beautiful. But hey, vibes are just sky high. Like they've been high all season for Thunder Nation. But like I tweeted about it, after the game. This win felt different. This win feels extra special. And maybe it's because of the combat. Maybe it's because of the quality of the opponent. Maybe it's because Aaron Wiggins finally pulled out it's not just a meme anymore. He really saved basketball. Like this game had everything that you could possibly want. And there's a lot of different ways that we could talk about this game. There's a lot of different angles. And the best way that we can cover all these angles is the segment we like to call the single large item. All right, single large item, it's here. Usually I go to Dolan for this, but I haven't seen this man in a very long time on a podcast because I missed the last time he was on the podcast. So I'm going to Matthias Moles. Moles, single large item for today, sir.
The cardio preparation for the New York Knicks starters. That's my single large item. So they started off hot, obviously, as the Thunder tend to do. They started a little slow. The Knicks got off to a pretty good start, and they kept their foot on the gas to build a lead into the second quarter. Their bench players only got 30 combined minutes of time tonight, and I was trying to add up the Thunder, but I'm not good at math that quick. but we lapped them in bench minutes. And you ended up seeing, as we'll talk about Wiggins later, some of those role players and bench players coming up huge for us down the stretch in the back end of that game, whereas the Knicks didn't have such fresh legs and didn't have a lot of people off their bench they could rely on. They only played 3 guys on their bench. So that ended up being huge. Dagnall, sometimes it feels like he gets a little cute with some of his rotations, and we don't love it, but it keeps guys engaged, and you saw the fruit of that tonight. So I would say the bench versus starter minutes being huge for us.
I love it
Mhm.
personally.
Mhm.
Oh, the
Yeah,
rotations.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to add was because I looked at it quickly while Moles was talking about it. The Knicks played not only 8 players tonight, but all of their starters played 40 plus minutes. And if you're
That's a tip
playing
special, man.
that's exactly what the tip special is. If you're going to be on a Tom Thibodeau team, expect to play 40 minutes if you're a starter, because they were worn out, I think, by the fourth quarter, and that was where we shined. Aaron Wiggins, he was the star of the show in the fourth quarter. Thunder played 11 players, and all of those players were, players we would consider impactful for this team. It wasn't like we threw in a couple guys here or there. The depth is clearly in favor of the Thunder. That was what won the game. The Knicks are a very good team in the East, probably going to be in contention with the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, but the depth is clearly not there for them in comparison to what we have, and it showed. So shout out our depth, shout out Wiggs, shout out Mark. A great game, great ending.
30 minutes to the Knicks bench versus 70 minutes for the Thunder off the bench.
Clearly better depth.
Yeah, nah.
And needed it, right? Because this is a 5th game in 7 nights for the Thunder. Been a really tough stretch of games too over the last 4. I know we got some injury luck with the Clippers and the Grizzlies, but still good teams and a compressed schedule. And it's funny, you looked at the schedule coming up and you're like, this is the toughest schedule the Thunder are going to have all season. Memphis, Mini, Clippers, Knicks, Celtics, Cavs, Knicks, and they're through 4 out of those 7, and they've won all 4 of them so far. Can't ask for more than that.
Yep, absolutely. And I think we've had comebacks in 3 of them now, 3 straight comebacks. So yeah, it's it goes to show you just the fight that this Thunder team has. And we've talked about it kind of all season long, whenever we were doing comebacks at the beginning of the season too. This is something that was instilled in this Thunder team in the rebuilding years. We saw many a comeback when we were, in the 10 seed, the 11 seed, and we was giving it to the top seeds in the West. We was coming back from double digits. We were, just furiously chipping away, even with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We was seeing the fruits of that. We were planting the seeds of that back in our rebuild. Now we're seeing the fruits of that now that we're a good team. Now that we're a contender, hey, we can pull that out of our back pocket. We know how to do that. We was doing that back before we was good. Now we're good and we can still do that. So it's a great weapon to have. Shout out to who was it in the chat?
Regio 7.
I'm gonna come back to El Sombra, but Go 816 said, this is the best Thunder team we've ever had. They've shown me they have another gear that is only something contenders have. Yeah, they just have a switch, man. They have another gear. It doesn't matter how much they are down. It doesn't matter at what point in the game it is. This team will suffocate you defensively because, like Moles was saying with the bench, they have so many bodies that they could throw at you. And they can all make shots. Percentage-wise, a lot of our guys have kind of faltered as opposed to last year, but they have shown over the course of the past couple of seasons that they are able to knock down shots in big moments. They're able to, knock down shots when their number is called. So it's just truly impressive. And yeah, now I do want to get to what El Sombra was saying about SGA.
Well, wait, before you
Go
in
ahead.
reference to another
Yes.
gear, can I just real quick? So in the Minnesota game, third quarter, 43-23. In the Clippers game, third quarter, 42-20. And then tonight, in the fourth quarter, changing up a little bit, 37-19. Like they hit that other gear, and it's just like so obvious. Like they're winning quarters by 18 to 23 points, just like putting the clamps on and knocking down shots on the other end.
It's not even another
outstanding.
gear. It's NOS. Like we're in Fast and Furious, man. Like we're opening up the NOS. But yeah, El Sombra Reggio 7, as we've mentioned a couple of times already, but no, he dropped a super chat, said tonight Aaron Brunson can't guard Shai confidently at all, but Shai has no issue switching onto Brun. Goes to show how special SGA really is. And I mean, there's a low-hanging fruit there, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Shai for my single large item. Just came out of this game, like started out like gangbusters. 14 points in the first quarter, 5 of 6 from the field. Hit his only 3-point attempt and had 3 trips to the line. Obviously, he struggled a little bit in the second and third quarters. Well, not so much in the third quarter, but in the second quarter, he only scored twice. The fourth quarter, he was kind of the catalyst. Like, obviously Dub got things started, getting to the rim, and, Wiggins hit the shots, and we'll talk about the shots, but a lot of those shots that Wiggins was hitting was off of Shai dimes. Shai also, got a couple buckets there, even after Wiggins put on that 3-point shooting display to kind of put the game out of reach. And he was just kind of everywhere, man. Like he's doing some real MVP stuff all game long, and ended up with the game 33 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Only had 2 turnovers, 1 steal, 1 block, and was 2 or 3 from the 3-point line. Starting to up on that 3-point percentage. Like this last few games, I think he was 1 of 5 like 4 games ago, but like the last few games, he's been over 40% from the 3-point line. So very impressive from Shai. And we knew that this was going to be a big stage for him. Playing against the Knicks, not necessarily on like national television, NBA TV, what have you. But a lot of people were watching this game. A lot of people had their eyes on this game because not only were the Thunder streaking, the Knicks were also streaking. They had won 9 straight as well. They were one of the top teams in the East. Like they really wanted to see.
It's New York.
What is it?
It's New York.
Of course, it's New York.
Well.
Like there's going to be eyes on the Knickerbockers out there. So they wanted to see, as a measuring stick game, where does this Thunder team measure up? Like, what will Shai do, like, in this big moment? And I think that, obviously, the Thunder team showed up, and I think Shai also showed up and showed that he's a legitimate MVP frontrunner at this point.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I have not watched enough games the last couple of weeks with the holidays to really, like, give a full take on this, but I can say just by looking at the numbers, Shai is his on-off stats. We are a very mid team with Shai off the court, and we are like one of the best teams in the NBA with Shai on the court. And I don't know how that doesn't scream most valuable player. Like that's the definition of it. I don't know what other argument you can say. I know Jokic has been really good.
Yeah, well, the problem there is that the Nuggets are like the worst team in the NBA when he's off. So if that's the case,
I still don't even think that's a solid argument because
no, I don't either. But if that's the argument, they suck so bad.
I don't know. I don't know if that you can argue that for him as well. But I don't know. Like eyeball test, what he does when he subs on is like so impactful and such a shift that it's so biased. I know, but it's like he's clearly like the top MVP candidate. He clearly is. Like this whole idea of like, oh, his team's really good, and so that's what's carrying him, and that's the team record, and blah blah blah. Like they are a very solid lineup, but they are not a championship team with him on the court, and with him on the court, he is like that. I don't know what else you can say about that. So yeah, he's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people feel that way because, like, we haven't talked like since Monday. Me and Cone did a podcast on Monday. But on New Year's Eve was when that conversation really started to shift towards SGA's way. Why did I call him SGA? I never call him SGA. Towards Shai's way. In the Timberwolves, whenever he dropped that 40 piece, like that was kind of the catalyst for a lot of people to like spearhead him to the top of their MVP list. NBA.com still had him behind Jokic, and it's reasoning like
We don't care about that
Yeah,
one person.
it was just funny. Like the the reasoning was he was like he's averaging 10 points more than his career average. How many MVPs can you say for that? Like, okay, dude, whatever.
I looked it up because I was just like, I bet it's a lot. And like Shai's averaging over 8 points more than his career average because that's how career averages work versus the best seasons. Like,
That's how numbers work.
That's how that works.
Yeah, it's like wow, like they get better as they go. It's crazy concept, but
I swear that thing just has so much more hype than it deserves because it's labeled the Kia whatever.
It's a sponsor,
like it just has a sponsor, so people think it's
a car.
like something official.
Steve, you had a video. Did you want to share the video with the class?
Yeah, just while we're talking about Shai, so obviously the scoring is insane, but this is Aaron Wiggins. This is the last three he made, the one that kind of blew the lid off the building, and then there's a timeout and everything at the end. And I want you to just watch Shai set this up because they're in semi-transition here or full transition, and you've seen this 100 times where he just like puts his head down and creates an advantage and gets all the way to the rim. But this time he waves Hart through and then to clear the side because he sees that Aaron Wiggins is going to be open again for another three in the same spot. Like he orchestrates this whole thing to get the guy with the hot hand another three.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful. I love how hype we get for his teammates, man.
Yeah, he's so happy. So yeah, it's just that type of play for him to make where he could put his head down and get to the basket and have an MVP moment or whatever and really like put the nail in the coffin, but he makes the right play there and he finds the guy who has the hot hand and creates him a wide open three that seals the game. And I just think that's the kind of player he is, and part of the reason he's so good is because he's willing to make the right play even when it's not scoring, even though that's his forte. Like I don't think any of us think he's necessarily like the craziest playmaker in the league. Like he's not Luka with his like skip passes. He's not usually like a puppet master, manipulating the defense to get a guy open, but he was here. And it's because he knew that Aaron Wiggins was the right guy.
I do think he's underrated as a playmaker. Like, I do think that people kind of sleep on his playmaking skills just because, like, there's some games where he doesn't have to. Like, specifically, like, in the Timberwolves game, like, Dub, I think, had 7 assists in that one. And Shai was just, like, full-on score mode. I think he had 2 assists, but he had 40 points. Like, he was just, like, in a zone. He was carrying us. So there's some games where you're not going to see that as much. But, example like this, you see some of, like, the live, like, offhand, like, skip passes, like, off the dribble. Like, he has some playmaking in his bag. It's just not, like, his go-to. Like, he's definitely a score-first point guard.
Mm-hmm. There's this quote that I remember from KD back in the day where he said, I'm just a role player like anybody else. My role just happens to be scoring most of the time. And like that, I think that's a really good way to think about it. That's something that, like, pro tip, you can like use that in interviews if the person who's interviewing you seems like they like sports. But so like, it's just scoring the point is just as important as creating the basket, is just as important as grabbing rebounds. It's just the thing that gets the most hype, right? The thing that gets the most attention. But it is just a function of a basketball team that needs to happen for you to win. And I think that's the way Shai views it. And it just so happens most of the time him shooting it is the best thing for the team. And that's just true. But he knows when it's not too.
Yeah, I think, that video you showed, it's the correct play. It's not the MVP voting play. If that makes sense. That's how I can distill it.
Right. That highlight is not going on Shai's highlight reel. It's going on, Aaron Wiggins' highlight reel.
Right. As well it should.
Yeah, I mean, Dolan, let's go ahead to you, man. What is your single large item for today?
So I'm glad we got Shai, and I don't know. I hope we'll talk more about Aaron Wiggins
We
because he
will.
needs to get
I'll fill him in.
time on here. So since if we can be assured that will be covered, my single large item is going to be something that I saw a lot of people complaining about a Mark Daignault choice, and he's been doing it a little bit lately. He's been kind of playing around with this, which is guarding a non-shooting-ish wing with Hartenstein, and then guarding a big with somebody else. And tonight it was J-Double on Cat, and it was upsetting a lot of people on the timeline. And you can see why, right? It's because, like, obviously Cat's much bigger than J-Dub, and he got some dunks out of it. He got 22 rebounds, which was great. He was dominating, and it's obvious when he's doing these things, right? It's like, oh my God, he got a dunk because it's a mismatch. Like, plain as the nose on your face, like anybody can see it, right? But here's the thing that you don't see. Because he's so concentrated on posting up J-Dub, the man took 0 3-point attempts tonight. He's taking 5 a game this year. He's shooting 44% from 3. And that is one of the like big swing things that could have cost the Thunder this game is if Cat has a hot night from 3 and just lights it up, ball game. Well, Mark said, you know, Jalen Brunson, we respect you. We are guarding you with Lou Dort, and you're getting attention. We're going to blitz you occasionally out by half court, get you to give the ball up. Cat, we're going to let you beat yourself because we know with Jalen Williams on you, you are going to lose sight of the best thing for your team, which is to shoot an occasional 3 and keep the floor space for Brunson. And you're going to try to go down and show that you're big the whole game. And congrats, you were big. You took 0 threes, and the Thunder held you almost 13 points below your season offensive rating because of it. So that's my single large item. I think that's like really good gamesmanship and, you know, head games by Mark.
I also took the over on 1.5 threes made by Cat tonight.
Moles.
Man.
Why?
The numbers backed me. I don't know what to tell you.
You can't do that. You can't do that, Moles.
But Mark Daignault, he was too smart for me.
He was too smart for Moles.
The
Moles betting scheme.
That is tough. Hey, you want a betting scheme whenever the Thunder go down? You know, bet on money line or bet them, or do what I did and bet a higher spread, bet the minus spread. Shout out Lou Dort. I had the -8.5 spread after the Thunder went down, and I wasn't going to hit, and then Dort hit that last 3 at the end of the game. So, shout out Lou.
-8.5 wasn't it? Was only like 4.5 from jump ball, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
it was 1 or 2 point possession.
I saw it go down to 3.5. I think it went back up. So is there like a list of options? Like, can you?
That was
get
as high
any
as I could
minus
go
all
on
the way?
DraftKings. I had a bonus bet on
sent
there.
it.
Okay,
He
but
sent
there's
it
like a
all.
scale.
Yeah, I went as high as I could go because I was like, "There's a barrage coming eventually."
I couldn't do that.
Dylan saw that Aaron Wiggins.
Yeah, I didn't think it was him. I thought it was 2. I didn't think it was 21. I thought it was going to be 2. But hey, we'll take it where we can get it. We do have a super chat here from Teddy Hart. He says, at times I don't like Hartenstein's effort on block attempts or lack thereof, and when he's under the basket, he attempts a layup instead of just dunking.
We knew that. We knew the rim protection wasn't going to be the same as Chad, though. We knew that.
No, it's not the same as Chad. I will say that one of the like catalyst defensive plays, I think it was it was the one that got dubbed that like Euro step at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I think it was OG Anunoby went for a dunk attempt. And I swear, Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen Williams, and I think Aaron Wiggins all jumped up with him and blocked that shot. Like, I think they all had a piece of the ball. It was nuts.
I think Hartenstein's a little bit more conscious of the rebounding aspect, right? Like he's a little bit more aware of trying not to get out of position by chasing shot blocks than Chet is. And Chet's really like he chases more than most people could get away with while staying solid. But we know the rebounding's a little bit weak with him, and that's part of the reason why. And I think Hartenstein's a lot more like conscious of not giving that up.
Yep. And to that, I mean, to his credit,
there are definitely times where I'm like, maybe you could have blocked that one, but if he doesn't, then it's probably going to be like a putback dunk anyways.
And-
so, like he's yeah. Sometimes you're just
And you
caught between both.
don't want him getting in foul trouble, and because we
Right.
you might see a different iHeart on defense once Chet comes back, because he knows we'll have another guy.
It actually is like a really high priority for him not to get in foul trouble right now.
I mean, hey, to his credit, in terms of rebounding, he had 14. In terms of foul trouble, he had 1 foul. I think also a lot of it, Steven Adams talked about this in his book when he talked about his shot blocking numbers going down, is just the fact that he was in better position. So, shots weren't going up. And for the most part, I think iHeart does a good job positionally, specifically around the rim. Sometimes if he's rotating over to a driver, that might not end up as well. But in terms of positionally, on the low block, guarding a post man, I think he's good. And on that play that we showed where Shai got that ball and he passed it to Wiggins for that 3. If we rewind it a little bit, iHeart blitzed Jalen Brunson off the pick and roll and forced a double. It forced Brunson to do the turnover. Shai got the ball, and that created the Wiggins opportunity. So Hartenstein is very weird defensively. There's some he has all the ability. Yeah. It's just sometimes
he's had a few of those in the last few games, right, where he's blitzed and then he actually takes the ball from them, or almost does. And I think the guards, when the big blitz is like that, they
I'm gonna cook,
because it almost always is. It's just like a token, I'm out here to make you wait, but they never try to actually take the ball. And so it's just the fact of him actually trying to take it away is so surprising to me that it actually works.
And he got on an island on OG Anunoby. OG tried to make him dance a little bit, and he held his ground. He's solid defensively, man. He's not disruptive in terms of getting steals and blocks, but in terms of positionality defensively, I've been more than pleased.
It is going to be euphoric when that 3-pointer finally goes down. He's more willing to shoot of late, but I'm ready for that.
Yeah, we need he's already shot more. I think he has more attempts this year than Steven Adams had in his OKC career. So we're already up there. El Sombra Reggio 7 also said in a super chat. By the way, we're still missing chat. And it's just nuts. It's just nuts. It's gonna get crazy. Shout out to Tim, by the way. Off arches.
He's
looking
off.
good.
He's walking.
I saw people saying he was jumping around pregame. So I don't know.
All-star game.
He posted
your new hip. I love it.
All-star game, baby.
I'm turning 40 next month, so that resonates with me a little bit.
Nice.
We're
in chat, one and the same.
Doing it without Caruso. Maybe going to be without Mitchell for a bit too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has a toe strain.
Or toe. That's right.
Yeah, that's a big note. Said he has a toe strain, which I can relate to because I went to the bathroom at halftime and I had a massive toe cramp. It put me on the floor for a solid 6 minutes. So
you'll probably be out a few weeks in the basketball.
Bro, I hate toe cramps. They're so annoying.
But we're talking about this team and what's different. How many Thunder teams in the past would have a role player like him or something go down, or like a Caruso, and it derails our whole season. The OK3 when
Andre Robertson,
Dre goes down against
Robertson
the Pistons.
The
it felt like that was the pivotal moment when we just lost the steam, and our team just didn't quite fit.
Baby.
We've been able to sustain this. And we're still 14 straight wins.
Bring it on.
Bananas what we've been able to do.
It's because Dolan keeps challenging the basketball guys every time he's on the pod.
Bring it.
No evidence of wood needed.
It was working so far.
14 straight wins.
They got nothing. They got nothing for us. I want to line up when I started mocking them with our win streak.
It's probably pretty good. I can't lie.
It was the NBA Cup, and the only thing that could have been a hiccup didn't even count.
Yeah. Don't know. Don't know. Yeah. All right. Let's stop burying the lead, fellas. It's 30 minutes into the pod. We've got to talk about the reason we won this basketball game. Tierney, what is your
Wiggins.
single large item?
It's Wiggins. It's Aaron Wiggins. He won us the game. Guys, first quarter, Aaron Wiggins didn't do anything. Second quarter, Aaron Wiggins went 2 of 4. He had 4 points. Great. Awesome. He also had a rebound. Super cool. Third quarter, he had a rebound. Pretty cool. Not much. Fourth quarter, Aaron freaking Wiggins. Hold on. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 5, 4 of 4 from 3. Aaron Wiggins saved that basketball. Aaron Wiggins saved basketball, fellas. And with that, I'm going to let you guys fill in the gaps. I actually have to bounce temporarily. I might be back for the end of the pod. But Aaron Wiggins is my single large item. And he's just awesome. He saved basketball tonight. So
You did.
yeah, that's it. I'll be back shortly. Thank you all for my TED Talk.
Okay.
Sorry, just real quick. I started taunting the basketball gods on the afternoon of November 20th. That's the day of the game. iHeart came back. It was under 18-1 since I began taunting them. So I think I might keep it up. Like I don't think it's doing anything because they're impotent, basically. So yeah. Anyway, back to Aaron Wiggins.
Yeah, no, Aaron Wiggins.
I just love how happy he was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, I don't know. It seemed like I haven't really gotten the feeling. I mean, I know his numbers haven't been excellent, but it seemed from his reaction like he felt like he had been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like he looked like a relieved person. And I just love that.
Yeah, he'd been going through not a midlife crisis because he's 26 years old, for God's sakes. But he cut the braids. He got like a buzz cut. Cut his hair, and obviously he's been struggling. In terms of like his shooting. He was shooting dang near 50% last year, and he's down to like 36, 37%, which is still good, but like not near what the production he was doing last year. But tonight, man, we talk about Aaron Wiggins saved basketball. Like he saved basketball. He saved this game. His first 3 came when OKC was down 5 and he cut it to 2. The next one, we were actually down 3 and he tied the game. Then after that, he gave us our first lead of the game, I believe. Whenever we went up 100-99, not first lead of the game. I apologize. We led early on.
The second quarter.
First lead since the second quarter when we went up 100-99. And then it was the fast break 3 that we showed many times. His 4th 3, the one that prompted the Knicks to call a timeout, the one that had iHeart and Shai screaming in his face. That was the one where it put us up 7. Yeah, and then after that. Was it after that? Oh, no, it was before that. Sorry. Yeah, I think it was in between. I think it was like literally like 2 threes and 1, 2 threes. But yeah, he had just a ridiculous and one where it went off the glass, got tackled, made the free throw. Like he was nuts, man. He was absolutely insane. And I don't expect that from him like every night. But on nights like tonight where we needed somebody to step up, like Dub ended up turning it around and having a good game. But he has been struggling a lot recently. Like iHeart, he had been pretty solid about getting at least 10 points every game. He only had 4 points tonight. He struggled. He couldn't get it going offensively. Obviously, Shai had that slump in like the second and third quarter. We needed somebody else to step up to, score points because they were throwing everything they had at Shai to try to slow him down. They were throwing like 3 or 4 guys at the rim, just like trying to block every layup that he had. So we needed somebody to step up, and Aaron Wiggins did it, man. He saved basketball. It was awesome.
Just unbelievable that I was waiting.
You're fine.
Just unbelievable that he could be. I'm not going to say non-existent, but kind of an afterthought for big stretches of the season. Especially, you mentioned him cutting his hair. I'm like, did somebody named Delilah put you up to that? Or, but him being able to stay engaged, and also that's coaching, right? Like putting him in those spots to keep him engaged even when the flow's not great, because eventually it will break through. And over the last couple of games, like we saw him get more involved last night, and then tonight, like he was really a focal point when it mattered most. Great teams are able to do that and keep guys involved, even if, like, in the breakdown of a play, even if that person's not super involved in the play, as long as they touch the ball, they're still engaged, right? Like that's why, like in football, maybe you give a fullback a run up the middle or something, just because like that keeps them engaged for doing all the other things. Well, it turns out the running back popped through the line and then took it to the house. So like every once in a while you need those role players to come through. It's very good. It's very reassuring to see those guys do that. And it's kind of nice to be on the plus end of a role player going bananas in a Thunder game.
That's true. Feels like we're on the receiving end a lot.
A lot of receiving on that end for sure for us.
Yeah, I'm trying to see, because at one point in the fourth quarter, we had Isaiah Joe and Kaysen and Aaron Wiggins on, and we subbed out.
Was that when we brought Shai back?
Yeah, I guess that wasn't what it was. Let me see. Shai. Where are you, Shai? It was like Knicks full timeout. Where's it at, bro? Okay, yeah. Shai came in for Isaiah Joe at 7:17. They asked Mark in the postgame press conference why they decided to bring in, take out Isaiah Joe and not Aaron Wiggins. He said, "Well, not missing a shot helps." So
I think he even said to the reporter, he's like, "Look, if you don't miss shots, I'll play you."
Yeah. I think that was our guy Joel too.
That's such a great answer.
No, but I'm pretty sure that was Joel. So yeah, I mean, shout out Aaron Wiggins, man. Like, we don't win this game without him, and this was a huge win. Like I said, this one felt different. It was the comeback. It was the opponent. It was the fact that it was on the second night of a back-to-back. It was the fact that it was our fifth game in 7 nights. It was the fact that it's just a sign of things to come in terms of like Eastern Conference opponents, because as good as the Knicks are, they're third best team in the East right now. We actually have 3 games coming up where we play the Knicks again, but we also play the other 2 teams in the Eastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with
these 3, by the way, are the top 3 offenses in the NBA.
Oh, lovely. Going against the best defense in the NBA. So it's like
the first one, 107 is good. And that 107 was the offensive rating as well. But the Knicks average offensive rating is over 119. So like you hold that to 107, you're feeling pretty good about your defense.
Mm-hmm. So it's like a real like unstoppable force meets an immovable object kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
and then Celtics, both teams with the day off before. And then Cavs, both teams with 2 days off before. So that should be pretty cool. I didn't know until you said it just now that AJ Mitchell has a sprained toe. And I feel like that is actually meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second unit kind of needs him. He's been getting a lot more aggressive lately and a lot more like, I don't know, more trust has been placed in him in that second unit. It's been a lot more of kind of the AJ Mitchell show with Dub playing off ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can handle that if he misses some time, which I assume he'll probably miss some time.
Yeah.
But we could get Caruso back soon.
That would be nice. That would absolutely help, because I mean, Boston's looking like a machine, man. And they get up a lot of threes, they hit a lot of threes. Cavs are the same way. Having Caruso out there would absolutely help, just with his just like Andre Robertson like rotations of just like shutting down full sides of the court, whenever they're moving the ball. But yeah, I mean,
I've been kind of under the assumption that, so he missed 1 week with a hip strain and they brought him back and then he immediately re-aggravated it. And so then they kept him out for 2 weeks for that one. This is the other hip, so it's not like necessarily the same injury, but I do kind of just feel like maybe they decided his hip strains are a 2 week thing. So
Yeah.
that would be Monday, the day
Okay.
after the Celtics game. But maybe they can bring him back one day early.
It's important because we've got 4 road games in a row in a week span. So that's huge before we come back and play Cleveland for a one gamer. So that's we certainly could use Caruso back. I mean, Cleveland, I saw them a week ago today, and they just annihilated Denver, did whatever they wanted on basically both ends of the floor. That team is stout inside and out. So we'll need some dudes for sure.
Yeah, and they just made a short work of the Mavs tonight. Again, no Luka Doncic or anything like that, but I mean
No Kyrie either.
they are what? They're 30-5, 30-4,
30-4, I think.
4.
Yeah, that's just absolutely nuts. The top of the NBA is crazy, but God, I was gonna say something else.
It's like 2016 all over again.
It really is. But all right, yeah, let's talk about these games. Let's preview these games here. So, first of all, we got the Thunder playing the Celtics on Sunday. That is in OKC. Guys, I know it's the last week of the regular season in the NFL. I know it's a weekend. You guys are busy on Sunday. If you are in the OKC area and you are financially capable, please be at this game. Like, fill this stadium. Be loud. Be proud. Like, the crowd has been tangible in the games like the Timberwolves game.
It was so good in these last 2 games. They were standing like the whole fourth quarter for this next game.
Mm-hmm. And the guys feed off that. Like, this is still like, this is a contending team, but like it's still a very young team. Like guys like Shai, like he don't care, man. He could go out there like with crickets chirping and drop 40 points on whoever. But like guys like Jalen Williams, guys who are younger, guys who feed off energy, guys who are in a slump, like they really need that. So go out there, be loud, be proud, because like this is gonna be a really good game. I'm very excited for it. As we mentioned, the Celtics are really good as well. They're 26-9. In comparison to the Cavs, who are like we said, 30-4. Celtics kind of play with their food a little bit. Celtics, like they don't take every opponent super seriously. I don't expect them to do that with the Thunder like at all, but that's why their record is what it is.
Yeah, they went 8-6 in December.
That's crazy, man.
I know, isn't it? With like some not great ones. like
the
Wizards,
to the
Bulls, they lost to the Magic with nobody. Let's see. Lost to the
Pistons
at home.
Beat them?
Yeah. So no, they beat the Pistons. They lost to the Grizzlies, but that was like full Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they, like you're saying, they do mess around a little bit right now. They're like maybe bored of the regular season being the champions a little bit. It happens. Sure. I don't think they're going to be bored for this OKC game. Mm-hmm. They're going to bring their A game for this one.
They're going to have to. They're absolutely going to have to. Yeah, I expect a full squad too. Jaylen Brown set out tonight, but Porzingis returned. So between they're going to have the Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, Derek White. I mean, they got shooters all over the place, man. So like, I love Shai, and defensively, he's like a real disruptor. But I'm going to need him not to cheat off the corners against the Celtics and the Cavs.
J-Dub's going to be huge against Tatum. That's going to be the matchup I'm really excited to see.
You think he guards Tatum and not Dort?
Yeah, I think Dort will be disrupting Brown.
I wonder how did those matchups go last year?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Not 100% sure. I don't know. I don't even know if there's a way to look at that, but yeah, that'll be interesting. I do think it'll be those two on those guys because I love Kaysen, but he's probably a little bit too small to guard either one of them. And I don't trust Shai like guarding either one of those on ball for the full game either. So yeah, Dort and Dub probably get the assignments for sure.
I mean, Shai, you got to keep him out of foul trouble too. So
yeah, it'd be really nice if Caruso can play.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That would be great. And then it's going to be interesting to see how Hartenstein handles Porzingis, because kind of thought we was going to see it tonight with Cat. Now, obviously, we cross-matched, so we didn't see it at all. And also, Cat didn't shoot any threes, so we didn't see it at all. But Porzingis is he's not afraid to let it fly. He's going to stretch out to the perimeter. So, and I don't really think that there's somebody that we could cross-match iHeart with that would make sense.
right.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking. I think Drew Holiday's having a down shooting year, but still, it's like playing with
That's
fire.
tough. That's a tough ask.
Yeah, he's 34.6% this year, but he was 43% last year. So it's like,
Let's not get him going.
which number do you believe?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to watch. That'll be interesting to see. Obviously they've got defenders to throw at Shai, but Shai doesn't care, man. Like I think he dropped like 33 or 35 against the Celtics whenever we played him in OKC, and it was Derek White and Drew Holiday. They were both trying him, couldn't do nothing with it. So I'm excited
They
to
don't
see.
have you need like a really big, like awesome defending wing to give him a really hard time.
He struggles with length, but he struggles with length like the first couple of times. After he's played you a couple of times, it's like he's figured it out. He doesn't even see Herb Jones anymore, man. Like the last couple of times he's played Herb, he's cooked him.
No, but yeah, you're right. But I think that's like the type of guy that you want to have, and they don't have that really. I mean, they do. It's I guess Jason Tatum. And Jaylen Brown theoretically are that build of person, but they don't go do that on a nightly basis.
I will say Jason Tatum, I think at OKC matchup last year, Jason Tatum guarded Shai down the stretch in the fourth quarter and did a really good job on him. Thankfully, Dub was able to kind of like close out the game on that. So, Dub, we need last year's Dub, man. Like we need you to step up if that's happening. So, yeah. Well, I mean, how do you guys think this game is going to go? You know, we won 14 straight, coming off a huge emotional win against the Knicks, the iHeart revenge game. Got a couple of days off. The Boston team is healthy. They're the defending champions. They're coming to OKC, last game of the homestand. Like, how do you guys see this game going? What's your prediction, Moles?
Coach D would disagree with me, but the Thunder are perfect against the East this year, 10-0. He did say, like, I'm pretty sure that the Milwaukee game happened. I was there.
I was there.
But
Wrong.
the standings don't show that. I've been looking, and it's not there. So we're still a perfect 10-0 against the East in games that matter, because the NBA Cup doesn't matter. Sour grapes a bit, but yeah. So, and we're at home. If this was in Boston, I might think it goes different, but I still like OKC's chances in this one.
But you, Dolan?
Man, if AJ is out, I think that's a big deal, and it would really make me think the Thunder are in a little bit of trouble. If Caruso can play, it would offset it, but I actually think AJ would be a really big deal against this, because if you just get smacked around in the non-Shai minutes, it's going to be really tough against this team. And the Thunder just kind of do for one, right? I mean, they've won 14 in a row, coming off an emotional win. You know, it's only one day off, so it goes from a 5-7 to a 6-9. That's, you know, still that's the most games you can play in 9 days in the NBA. So Thunder by 12.
Love it. All right, moving on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, this team is similar to the Celtics, but also very different from the Celtics. Now, they also get up a bunch of threes, but they play two bigs. They're a very large team. Giannis talked about how much more difficult they are to play than the Thunder just because of the size disparity. So that matchup.
Those are some grapes of some flavor on his part, though, I think.
Yeah.
Those are some competitive grapes. Some MVP bitterness grapes.
Competitive grapes. I love that.
Talking about a game that didn't even happen and stuff like that. So Yeah, no. So obviously, I think there's not going to be cross matching in this one. I think Hartenstein's going to be like locked into Jared Allen. I think that
Sure.
the skill set like matches up perfectly. What is going to be interesting, and I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. Jalen Williams is going to have to guard Evan Mobley. Interested to see that matchup. What I do love about this is I'm not really worried about anybody trying to guard Shai on that Cavs team. I don't think they have anybody at the point of attack to slow him down, or even Jalen Williams on the other side. I mean, Mobley will probably be guarding Jalen Williams, but I think Shai can get free. And then defensively, I think that Kaysen and Dort are like built in a lab to guard Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. So I really like how we match up with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer that both of these games are happening right here together, so we can't have a Chet matchup with them.
Yeah,
because that's how I would really like to see the matchups, because then it would be even better. We could do a twin tower against theirs. It would just be like really 1-for-1, except we have Shai. But yeah, it's, by the way, the Celtics game has been flexed to NBA TV. It was just on League Pass. And then this Cavs game also got flexed to ESPN.
Yeah.
So
that one's actually a big
just
deal.
Cool that the league is, noticing. And then the next Cavs game after that got flexed to TNT too.
Mm-hmm.
So starting to get a little bit more publicity. But yeah, the Cavs offense is incredible. I mean, they're the best shooting team in the league right now. Just shooters up and down the roster. Ty Jerome lighting it up so far this season, although he's cooled off a little bit after his ridiculous start. Yeah, they've been kind of they've been on a West Coast trip lately, and they've been kind of doing the same thing that the Thunder have been doing to people, which is the game is like close for a while, and then there's just like a 6-minute stretch where it just becomes a 15-point game, and you just look up and the game's kind of over. So something to look out for. I again think AJ would be a big deal to just kind of keep those minutes competitive. But I actually non-sarcastically think the Thunder will handle this one, because I think Shai's competitive juices will be at the brim for this game,
Oh yeah.
And a chance to maybe even, depending on how the Celtics game goes, a chance to snatch the #1 record in the league from them. So just really excited for this game.
Extend the win streak to 16, snatch the #1 record. Put on an MVP performance on national television against the best team in the East. Like, it sets up for like just like a masterclass for Shai.
Yeah, and the Cavs only play the Hornets between now and then. So, sorry, I'm just trying to pull up their schedule real quick, because they're on a long win streak too, which will theoretically continue because it's the Hornets. 1, 2, 3. They would be on a 10-game win streak.
That's crazy.
Regardless, if the Thunder are on a 15-game win streak, or if they have just had theirs ended and have the chance to end the current reigning longest win streak, that would be a fun storyline.
The narratives are there.
Mm-hmm.
So Dolan went from competitive grapes to competitive juices. I love it. The thing that
wine.
the thing that really I took away from the game I went to was Evan Mobley was willing to shoot from outside, and he looked very comfortable, and that could be an issue for us, especially if somehow they're able to get Hartenstein in foul trouble. So I'm very concerned about their ability to just punish us inside, and then Mobley's ability to stretch could be problematic for us. I hate to do it, but I don't think that we beat Cleveland in Cleveland, especially on the heels of everything that we've accomplished, and all the travel and all the games that we've had and everything. So that's going to be tough. I do think that's going to be one that's like, we're probably going to be frustrated in that game. And that'll highlight just how important Chet is. And then the narrative's going to be like, okay, what does it look like when Chet gets back? And now we probably start picking up steam about what his return looks like. I heard some people when he initially went down, were highlighting the end of January as a time frame when he could come back. And so roughly by then, we're going to be like, okay, are we a couple weeks out? Chet's very important for what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. And that includes beating the team from the East in the finals. And that team likely will be, one of the 3 teams that we face this week in the Knicks, the Celtics, and the Cavs. The Cavs just look far and away better than probably anything we've seen all season.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, it would be fun to see the Thunder, just rip off this crazy win streak, like try to break the 0-2 Lakers win streak. That would be amazing. It would be such a fun ride. There'd be a lot of people mad about it because of the NBA Cup thing that didn't happen, but it'd be a lot of fun. But the fact of the matter is, we are playing really good basketball teams, and sometimes in the game of basketball, the better team loses, or sometimes you're pretty evenly matched and you lose the game. But between the Celtics, the Cavs, the Knicks again on Friday, we play the Wizards, then we play the Sixers, who have been playing a lot better here recently. When they're healthy, they are still a very good team. And then we'll play the Cavs again at home. I mean, we've got a very tough stretch. I believe in this team. I think we could, run the table all the way to that Cavs game. But the odds are stacked against us to win every single one of those games. So if you win of the next 6 games, if you were to win 4 of them, you're feeling great. If you're going to win 5 of them, it's okay, how good is this team? And even if you win 3, it's okay, that's fine. If we split these next 6 games, I'm still feeling pretty good about this team, because I mean, at that point we're 32-8, still have a chance to get to 40 wins before we get to 10 losses, which would be nuts. So yeah, I feel good about it. I think that I'm still picking a win for the Cavs game, but I wouldn't be shocked if we dropped one of the next 3.
Thunder by 12.
All right, I love it.
But if we win all 6 of them, we might never lose again.
We might,
because the back half of January looked like one thing, but now it looks like a different thing, because Luke is out for both of those Mavs games. So now it's, after that Cavs stretch, it's Mavs, Nets, Jazz, Mavs, Blazers, Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those Mavs games without Luka. So those are all those are ones you just should win.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, it'd be crazy, man. Yeah, I'm not trying to shout out to Cone, who put out the tweet against the Clipper, or after the Clippers game, said Thunder never lose again. And he just got absolutely hammered by our fan base telling him to take it down because we were cursed. So I believe we won that
basketball
game.
Basketball gods? Is that why? Is that who they were worried about? Tweet it. Leave the tweet up, Cone. Tweet it twice.
Tweet it twice. Pin it. Do it from the top of Thunder account as well. Why not? Tempt the basketball gods. But yeah, no, it's man, it's been an absolutely fun, thrilling ride to follow this Thunder season so far. And we're just getting started, man. We're not even halfway through there. We still have Chet Holmgren to come back. We still have Alex Caruso to come back. The best is yet to come for this team.
Haven't even reached our final form.
Yeah, as good as it's been, it's going to get better. It's going to be this is such a fun ride. So just enjoy it. It's going to be great. We're already historic in a lot of different ways. We'll see how much farther we can chase that history. But for the time being, just enjoy some really good basketball, because regardless of what the outcome is going to be, these next 3 games, I can almost guarantee they're going to be great basketball games of some of the best players in the world matching up against each other. And we're just fortunate that we have a few of the best players in the world that are going to be wearing Thunder blue as well. So it's going to be a great time. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Yeah, we won't talk about trades. We've already been going about an hour. I'm tired as crap. My eyes are heavy. So I'm good to end the pod unless you guys have any closing thoughts.
I'm just really enjoying this team, man. They make me feel lots of good feelings. That's all. They've been very good for my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Same. This team is special. I don't think we quite understand how special they are. We might be able to talk more about that like late March when we're starting to see kind of the culmination of the whole season. But like historic trajectory for what this team could be. And it's just it's good to finally be here because we sat through some crappy basketball and now we're getting to have the fruit of all of that suck.
Shout out Darius Baisley.
Darius Baisley.
Building block base.
Yeah, and as we said, like we're having a great time watching this Thunder team, and I know you guys are as well. And you have a chance to do that live on March 21st for the Top of Thunder fan event in which we're playing the Charlotte Hornets. It's going to be a great time. We have 3 levels of ticket packages: lower level, club level, upper level. I don't know. I just added an R to level a second ago. After the game, for the Hornets game, we're going to go down to the floor. We're going to take photos, group photos. You could take, selfies on the court, with your friends, whatever. Like it's going to be an absolute blast. And then after that, we are going to line up, take half court shots for a chance to win a basketball signed by the entire Thunder team. And like I said, like that's a great prize. Like I'm going to be trying to make, I try to make it every year, but like I'm going to be trying extra hard to make that because that'd be great to have for my setup. That would be such an awesome thing to have. We're talking about this being a historic basketball team. Imagine having a basketball signed by said historic team. So if you want to get tickets, go ahead and follow us at OKC Top of Thunder. You don't have to follow us for the tickets, but while you're there, why not follow us? Go and find us at OKC Top of Thunder on Twitter. It's in the pinned tweet. You will find the link there. I'm going to start pushing this a little bit more on Twitter as, we're over the holiday season. Christmas is behind us, and it's approaching. It is rapidly approaching. It is under 3 months away at this point, and I'm very excited. As I said, we've done this. This is our 3rd year doing it. The members of the unit will be there. Myself will be there. Matty Moles will be there. Obviously, Tierney, Cone, Alex Roig, and Dolan. Do we have a percentage update? Is it still 62%?
76%.
We are above 3/4 in Dolan attending the Top of Thunder fan event. So you do not want to miss out on the chance to meet. I get choked up thinking about it.
The odds are ever in our favor right now. I love this. Heck yeah.
No, Jesus.
I guess he's taking Chat's spot because Chats isn't going to survive.
Yeah,
apparently.
I'm going to die.
Okay.
I'm going to die. This happens like all the time. I hate it. Every time we podcast, it happens whenever I'm saying something. So, yeah, you don't want to miss out on your chance to meet Stephen Owen. I'm not going to miss out on my chance to meet Stephen Owen, so you shouldn't do it as well. So, but yeah, with that being said, enjoy this Thunder season. I hope everybody has a great night. God bless. Hoop when you can. And as always, Thunder up.
Thunder up.
Thunder up.